Hey everybody, what's up? Tyler here. Welcome back to the Miller's Homestead. And today let's talk about predator proofing your chicken setup. So I am here in central Pennsylvania, south central, western Pennsylvania, somewhere around there. As you can see, we got woods. We're not living in the city by any stretch of the imagination. So we have the run of the mill of predators. We have coyotes, foxes, skunks, weasels, possum. Possum get a chicken? I don't know. We have dogs and cats, just might be wandering around. We have hawks. We have bald eagles, which I don't know if a bald eagle would mess with a chicken. From my research, probably not, but if it was desperate and they saw a chicken here on the ground, it might, take a swipe. So all kinds of animals, raccoons, I think I already said weasels, muskrats, anything that would try to hurt a bird is here. And so we even have bears every now and then. Now, none of this is probably really going to be applicable to bears, maybe, but we'll talk about that, maybe. But so I have a wide variety of predators that I have to think about and address. And so the first thing I want to talk about is this fence that we have outside the chickens here. So we have a electric netting. This is a Premier One Energizer and netting situation. The Energizer is down here. That's the blue solar Energizer. Connects to this electric netting, and that goes around the perimeter of the chickshaw and the chicken tractors in here temporarily for now, till I get my meat chicken situation sorted out. But that is the first line of defense for any type of predators on the ground. So I leave this energized all the time unless I'm back here like working. It doesn't like hurt me, but it's not pleasant. Ruby, our dog, she did go up there and give it a sniff, and let me tell you, she was not happy about it. She yipped and kind of growled at it. So I know that it would deter a coyote or a fox or something like that. The mesh on the bottom is a lot smaller than the mesh here at the top. So anything that gets in here is going to get shocked. And it's not a constant shocking. It pulses every second. So nothing is going to get through this fence in less than a second, unless it's just straight up torpedoing in. But usually if something gets in here, it's sniffing around, sniff, 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 shock, and it's out. And so I haven't had any issues. I haven't had any evidence that anybody's tried to tear down the fencing, that it's been bit at or things knocked down or bent. So far it's worked pretty well. As you can see, we don't have any top cover. So this fencing does nothing for aerial predators. Let's get you off the tripod. So something could just swoop down in here, nab a chicken and head out. So for aerial protection, right now we just have the chicken tractor and the chickshaw. They can get underneath, I don't have any roosters with these hens right now. Roosters or guard geese would work as an extra layer of protection. Now they're not going to protect, well, no, I shouldn't say not. A guard goose isn't really probably going to protect from a hawk coming in, and it's not going to attack that hawk. What the guard goose, the purpose is to spy the hawk in the air before these hens do, go crazy, and all the hens go running. And then there's no chance for the hawk to nab a chicken or cause any type of destruction. Now a rooster should do the same thing. Now a rooster would, if a hawk had a chicken down here in the run or paddock, whatever you want to call it, a rooster would theoretically come over here and try to tear into that hawk. So roosters and guard geese would be good alert systems and potential protection from aerial predators. You also could run some kind of netting over top, or if you have a permanent run, like we had them out beside the shed over the winter. That was a permanent run. I had the chicken tractor attached. Nothing can get on them from the sky. So you have to kind of weigh your options here and how much risk you want to take. I have this bucket. It might just be fooling myself to try to maybe be kind of, hesitant to anybody thinking about flying in here because it's moving around. Hawks and eagles can be kind of weird about seeing things if it's moving. So that's what we got going on for kind of our first layer of protection outside, and then the top first layer is just obviously the roofing, and that's really the only aerial protection I have, or just the roofs of these. My guard geese should be here next week. Going to start brooding them. I might have one or two roosters brooding right now. We'll see how that turns out, and then we'll have a little bit more guarding. Look at this, y'all. You wonder why your water's so messy. Kicking straw and grass in there. So we should have a little bit more protection and alertness to aerial predators. So let's head in here and take a look at some other things to consider. So say you don't have an electric fence, like I didn't last year, but I still had my chicken tractor. So if you're building some kind of chicken tractor or some kind of, portable chicken house, make sure it sits flush on the ground. Right now, this is sitting on the wheels, and so it's like 3 inches off the ground. Do not leave this like this unattended, because you will lose chickens. Whether a raccoon scoots under there or a coyote digs underneath, or your chickens get brave and kind of dig their way out. You will lose chickens if you have gaps like this underneath your chicken tractor. Something could easily get through there. Any holes like this in your fencing, they could easily get through. This is like this because we were moving it, and I need to patch this whole thing because meat chicken's going to be in there. But for this chicken tractor, it's 2x4s. Man, y'all have really done a number on that or something. It's 2x4s and half lapped, and it's a strong base. That's all you really need to know. And then there's 1/2-inch wire mesh on the inside here, and that's small enough to where a raccoon can't get their finger through there. Really nothing should be able to get their fingers or their hands through there to get to a chicken. Chicken wire, potentially you could have issues where something could reach inside, grab the head of a chicken, and pull the chicken's head off. So I would not recommend your first line of defense to be chicken wire, if that's your only line of defense, I should say. If you had this chicken tractor set up and then you had chicken wire running the perimeter outside of that, that wouldn't be a bad idea. But chicken wire should not be your only line of defense, because chances are you're going to lose a chicken somewhere along the line. So this is 1/2-inch wire mesh. Pretty sure it's not 1/4 inch. I'll correct myself in the video if it's 1/4 inch. We're going to go with 1/2 inch. 1/2-inch wire mesh all around the base of this chicken tractor, as you can see. That way nothing can get into it. I actually have all of that small wire mesh here on the door. And then I only have chicken wire here on the roof, which is covered with tarps. Nothing's going to mess with this aerial wise, even if I didn't have this tarp on here. No hawks or anything are going to try to mess with trying to rip this chicken wire off. I do have a bit of a gap here that something potentially could squeeze down in, but like a raccoon. But I haven't had that issue. Last year I had this, must be lunchtime. I have had this outside all last year. No wire, no fencing at all around it. This was their only protection, and they stayed in this full time. Door was closed. I only had 10 chickens. This is where they stayed, and I moved them like every day, every other day. And I did not lose a single chicken. So this chicken tractor here is a John Siskovich. I think I'm saying his name right. That's the design. I made mine a little bit shorter, so it was a little bit lighter. I didn't need it as big. And I didn't lose any chickens. They were protected well, and no issues there. So definitely go for the smaller gauge wire mesh on the bottoms of your housing areas, and then you can do chicken wire for the tops, because theoretically a raccoon could climb up here and maybe stick its hand in or try to wedge itself, but it's going to get all cut up if it does that. And they're looking for a quick, easy meal. They're not looking to fight a chicken or fight a structure. So they were happy in this, no issues at all. So with this chickshaw, it's a little bit different. We actually have, because this is inside of an electric fence, I have 1-inch wire mesh on the bottom so poop goes through. If this was the only, well, this really wouldn't work as an only housing, because they need to get out to free range because they're not on the grass at all. The purpose of this is to let them out so they can free range within an area. So really the chickshaw should be in tandem with an electric fence or some kind of exterior netting, because it does have the 1/2-inch wire mesh here on the sides, and then it just has plastic sheeting. There's no wire mesh behind this, just plastic sheeting on the tops and the sides. And then the backs, there's just egg boxes, nest boxes here, which they're in there pretty tight. Nothing can really pull those out. And then more plastic siding, more wire mesh. But the floor is all 1-inch 1-inch wide wire mesh. So something could theoretically get its grimy little hands up through there and rip a chicken's leg off or its head off. So that's kind of the protection that I have here for my chickens. So first line of defense, electric netting. Second line of defense for the chicken tractor will be 1/2-inch wire mesh, and then chicken wire on top with a tarp. For the chickshaw, 1-inch wire mesh and 1/2-inch on the side. And I haven't had any issues with predators. They've all been staying away. I don't have anything, dear. Sorry. Your feathers are looking nice and iridescent in the sun though. And I haven't had any predator issues. So far, so good. The only predator that I would have a concern about would be a bear. I don't know how well this stuff will hold up to bears. A bear could easily just take this tarp and destroy it. It could easily take this chicken wire and rip it off here and get in there and have a chicken. Easily. I don't think, that's not a question. So the chickshaw, it's a little tighter build. I mean, it could rip this off probably, but I got that nailed on there pretty good. This is lashed on here pretty good. This is solid 2x2s and 2x4s. He could probably easily rip this plastic off. So it's hard to make something bear proof. A bear, with my situation, it's completely open fields. He's not going to come out here to get a chicken unless he's kind of desperate. We have seen them around here, like 2 houses down, they've seen them, but they always stick along the wood line. So I don't think a bear is going to really want to have to come out here and fight an electric fence and then fight opening this up and be discovered, be seen, unless it was desperate. But there's always exceptions to those generalizations. So unless you would get a really sturdy fence that's electric, I don't know how much bear protection you're really gonna get. So that is the situation that we have here. And so that's gonna do it for this video. I know it might have been kind of long, but I just kind of wanted to run through the different levels of protection that I have, how I protect my chickens from ground predators, from aerial predators. I don't know if there's really any foolproof way to 100% make sure you do not have any predator issues besides having them in a heavily enclosed run attached to some kind of outbuilding like a shed or something that's 100% enclosed and reinforced. When you have chickens out here free ranging like this, you are taking a risk. Now you can minimize that risk by doing things like the electric fence, a chicken tractor with thin gauge or really narrow wire mesh at the bottoms, or a heavily built chickshaw that's reinforced. Those things will definitely minimize your risk. Having roosters, having a guard goose, or having a canopy over your run will heavily minimize the risk. But when they're out like this, things happen in nature. I cannot guarantee these chickens will be protected 100% every single day, but I will do my best to make sure that they are not snatched up or taken out by some unruly predator. And so hopefully y'all enjoyed this video and you like seeing the setup that I have here and how I protect my chickens. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe for more videos from us here on the homestead. More videos coming. We're starting to finally roll into spring. Going to be planning, going to be doing some more chicken stuff. And make sure you check out our Instagram. We're Miller's Homestead on Instagram. We're posting there on a regular basis. And if you have any questions for us, leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.